Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Hormone Harmony is a game changer for women who feel off, physically and mentally. Created by an award-winning German nutrition scientist, it blends 12 evidence-based adaptogens into one capsule. No fillers, no junk, just science-backed support for clarity, comfort, energy, and confidence. With 50,000-plus glowing reviews, it's helped millions feel like themselves again. Try it now with 15% off your first order using code HARMONY15 at happymammoth.com.
Welcome to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while bickering about directions and planning trips to dinosaur parks.
Stack our shelves with the clinches out. Shout it from the rooftop, can you hear the sound? Yeah. Live your best life, love it out loud. Love it out loud.
Hey HBs, do you follow us on social media? You should. I put links in the show notes to make it super easy for you to find us. And if you want to see the contortions we put our faces through in each episode, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. This Friday, we've got an unhinged bonus episode for you. Because upon reading our book for today, Sabrina and I promptly inhaled the rest of the series. So Friday, we'll have a recap of books 2 and 3 on our Patreon and Apple Podcasts subscription. We go on some pretty interesting journeys, inspired by cloacas and tucking. And seriously, if you have the medical information we beg for in the episode, please email heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you in advance. Okay, today we've got a 5-star bribe recommendation that made us so happy. Here's part 1 of our recap of Smash and Grab by Maddox. All right, hey Sabrina.
Hello.
Are you ready to talk about Smash and Grab, but then the rest of the whole series?
I was just going to ask you how I finished it last night, like I said I would.
Oh my god.
It took me 5 days
Oh my god.
to I guess 6 days, because I have a little bit of a social life now. So it took me 6 days to read every single thing associated with this series. That includes excerpts and extra scenes on her website. It includes novellas. It includes every book. And
there are 4 books, right?
There's 5.
Fuck. Okay, my hoopla only has 4 of them.
So
I'm gonna have to find the other one somewhere.
Okay, you've read through Lost in Amber?
I've only read Smash and Grab. I've only read Smash and Grab now. But then on, when we do our Patreon episode, I will of course have consumed the rest of them. No worries.
Yeah. Well, okay, listener, it is Wednesday now, and on Monday, Mel and I were recording the second part of
great question.
Shadow Daddy.
Receiver of Many.
Yes. And I was like, have you started book yet? Mind you, listener, at this point, I had maybe 25% left in book 5. Oh, I didn't finish it last night. I finished it Monday night. Anyway.
Oh my god.
And I was like, Melody was like, no, I haven't started it yet. And I was like, okay.
Part of the reason was because I had a feeling I would go on a binge, and I don't have the wherewithal to not binge when I have other shit to do. So
I gotta know, did you love Smash and Grab?
I loved smash and grab.
I knew you would. It fits so well into your cozy MM vibe.
Cozy MM plus Adventure Times and a caper? Come on.
I did not realize that I think I just need dinosaur shifters in my life.
And dinosaur shifters.
Well, because we just read the other book with...
Great question.
What's her butt?
With Margaret, the Nina Bangs book.
Yes, and I was miserable that it was only like 3 books and it was supposed to be 12 or 13.
18.
And like I was so upset about it. And then we put this on the Patreon poll.
Ooh.
And it got selected. And whoever you are out there.
Yeah.
Whoever you are out there that put this in as your 5-star recommendation.
Ugh. You're an angel.
From the bottom of my soul. Thank you.
Thank you.
For introducing us to the world of Relic.
Yeah, I didn't know that I needed a raptor in the style of a tropical, like, parrot. I did not know.
Oh my god. They are accurate based on what we know about dinosaurs nowadays.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Oh my god. He is... okay, let's just jump right in. Hi, listener. We're doing Smash and Grab. It's Relic #1 by Maddox. It is... stop. If you like... this is my little blurb, okay?
Yes.
If you want an adorable mid-30s graying paleontologist and a 65 million year old, but
agent
really
of chaos,
only been around for 40 years.
Yeah.
Pink, mohawked, punk dinosaur shifter.
Who is an agent of chaos.
Absolutely an agent. Like he and his buddy, I don't think you're at this point in the series yet, Melody, but he and one of the other guys in their group of buds and brothers, he and one of the other guys, Regal, they're known as Feathers and Fuckery. And that's really all you need to know until we jump in. All I'm saying is that if you want all of these, that includes a road trip romance. And a heist.
Oh, there's a full caper. It's amazing.
It's fantastic. Drop this episode. Go listen to the first or read or however you want to
consume the first book
in your brain. Just consume it somehow.
It's so fun. So we've got Simon, and Simon is in the bowels of the Museum of Natural History in New York because he's chipping away at a dinosaur fossil. And it's this, like, really cool sounding fossil. I forgot to Google if we've actually found anything like this.
Nope. Ovipositor, that's not right.
Wowza.
Oviraptor, I think is what it was. It's an oviraptor egg or something like that.
But it's an egg mid-hatch.
Yes.
And so you get to see, like, the teeny tiny little raptor that's coming out of the egg, which is fascinating. Anyway, so he's in there. It was just featured in National Geographic. He is, like, on the cover, you know, being like, egg times. And it's fantastic. He's, like, at the height of his career, and he just wants to be in the basement all the time, making dust out of the rock surrounding this fossil.
And his best friend calls him and is like, hey, are you coming out tonight? And he's like, no, I'm
for sure not
busy. And he's like, you're at the museum right now in the basement, aren't you? And he was like, no.
What?
And his friend's like, talking about? You really need to get out more. And he's like, yeah,
maybe someday.
Sure. And then he is thinking that's not true. I say that every fucking time that we read a book, but like I've never felt more seen than when he's sitting there thinking about his dating woes. He thinks to himself, I had been so deeply rooted in fishing out the egg we had discovered in the Gobi that most other things had fallen away, including the bad first date I had a week ago wherein I bored a lovely woman to tears talking about the theropod classification. To be fair, she asked what my book was about when I told her I had been reading before the date. How could I have known she wasn't as passionately excited about the study of tyrannosaur jawbones as I was?
How could he know?
And I was like, boy,
wow.
I feel you, Simon.
You're special interesting at me, and I would have dug it.
I would have been so
Best date
into
ever.
it. And this
I
is
would've been so
why,
into it.
like, just, Simon, you just need to find you a Dalton, is what you need to find you.
You do. Yeah. So he's just innocently working on this fossil, and then a bunch of like dude bros in big boots holding guns walk in. And they're like, you said, like, one of them looks to the other one and he says, like, you said it was going to be empty in here. And the guy's like, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so they very casually go over and they're like, show us the egg one, the fossil. Oh, no, they say the raptor fossil. And he's like,
There's a lot of those. Well, and then they recognize him as the guy from National Geographic holding it, and they're like, oh shit, you're the paleontologist. You're gonna come with us too. And they're like, he's like, oh no, this is about to be a bad time for me.
Yeah, they're fully just gonna kidnap him right there so that he can sit in the bottom of their eccentric boss's lair doing the same work, but just privately now. Because they work for this, like, rich guy who collects dinosaur fossils.
Yeah,
just so he can, like, hoard them and show them off to his friends.
Well, yeah, it's basically a private collection instead of keeping it like in the countries that they come from or in a museum or like out there for the public to see. And it's basically fucking rich fat cats being like, look at how much money I have, enough that I can just buy the thing and keep it in my house instead of sharing it with the world.
And hold the paleontologist hostage. One of the guys was like, yeah, he was thinking about hiring you, but I guess, we just made that decision for you. Welcome to the team. And, like, at gunpoint, you need to go, like, come with us now. And he's like, what? My favorite is that they're like, we're going to take this egg. And he's like, what? No, you can't do that. It doesn't even belong to us. We're just preparing it so that we can send it back to the country of origin. And the guy's like, this is a heist. Like, this is a stick-up, bro.
Stealing this. This is.
I don't care who I'm stealing from.
This is a very efficient and high-end mugging.
Yeah, for sure.
This is also about to be a kidnap hostage situation.
Yeah.
So how about you just come with us quietly? Otherwise, we're gonna get rid of some of those fancy fingers that you're using to look at the thingies.
I can knock you out and carry you on my shoulder just as easily, bud.
So as they're cruising out of this building, they have him swooped up. I need this quote for you.
Please.
In an absolutely bizarre twist, a man sporting a bright pink short mohawk, a fully decked out jacket with spikes and patches, ripped up black skinny jeans, and bubblegum pink Doc Martens emerged. He spun the slugger in his hands before getting ready to swing again. So as they're leaving, a bat takes one of these dudes out just right to the face, and then Dalton is here. And I could visualize this so perfectly.
So vividly.
In my head.
I mean, Dalton is nothing but vivid, you know, in every sense of the word.
Yes. I've also realized, so you remember how in the past we've talked about the fact that, like, we don't, like, our different ways of, like, whether or not we see things, whether or not we see words, whether or not we do what. And I realized something the other day. I do if I pause to think about it, and specifically if I can think of another scene that I, like, a movie or a TV show or some kind of visual, something like that, where I can overlay the character, it becomes extremely vivid in my head, right? And so, like, I have to pause and think about it, because otherwise it's just words funneling through my brain, like,
absolutely
nobody's business. But, like, I paused, because I was like, I feel like I've seen this before, and it was like watching a little movie in my head, and it was perfection. I don't even know where the scene came from, but I could see him, like, tossing his head even though his hair's not gonna flip because he's wearing he has it in a mohawk, and then just, like, standing there and swinging the bat over and then pulling back to hit again. And I was like, oh,
I want this to be a really, really dramatically animated, like, comic book style show.
Yes, same.
That's exactly what I want this to be. I don't want it to be live action. I want it to be like a really over-the-top cartoon situation.
They would not be able to do it justice
in
a live action. This would strictly...
I want it to be like the newest Spider-Man movies. you
I
know,
have not seen those.
with Miles Morales. Oh, well, it's done perfectly. And that would be a great style for this.
Are you
for this
listening?
series as
Whoever
well.
it is that makes Spider-Man, are you
Hey.
listening out there?
Hey, we love your work.
We'll start a petition.
You need to option this. Thank you so much. Get it with
That'd be
Maddox,
great.
please.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Netflix could do this. They have the money and I feel like they just started going into like the world of like full on sapphic shows and everything. And I would love for them to do an show as well. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Dinosaur Shifter
Yeah.
like, wow.
So he ends up taking out all of the guys, and then he like swoops up the fossil case basically, and he's like, all right, let's go. Well, no, first he looks Simon dead in his, I almost said Salmon. He looks Simon dead in his face, and he's like, hey, handsome. And Simon's like, what is happening? And then
I don't understand.
Like, we're escaping. Come on. And then he just like barumps his way out of the museum.
Yeah, he just grabs the case that the fossil is in and he starts strutting out the museum. And then they look over and they see like the guards are all tied up.
This man is incapable of going anywhere without a strut in his step. This is the peacockiest little creature that has ever peacocked. And he is adorable.
And a lot of times the strut isn't even like arrogant. It's just like happy-go-lucky.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just like, what's the next exciting thing we're going to do? We're going to do it with flair if it's Dalton.
This man woke up after being asleep for 65 million years in the 80s and went,
oh my God,
I can get into this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he did. He jumped in face first and never came back up for air. He was like, I am going to take every inch of this existence that has been given back to me and live it to its fullest. And it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Maybe you're even barely getting by making minimum payments. With credit card debt hitting record highs, National Debt Relief offers real debt relief solutions for people struggling to keep up. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy, and you may be able to pay back less than you owe, regardless of your credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe 10, 20, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living increases. To find out how much you could save, visit nationaldebtrelief.com. That's nationaldebtrelief.com. If you're sleeping hot and sweaty, it's impossible to get a good night's rest. And if your solutions are blasting the AC high all summer and doing constant pillow flips, you've got to check out Coop Sleep Goods. Coop combines advanced cooling technology and personalized comfort to create pillows that help hot sleepers stay sweat-free all summer. The fabrics are breathable and cool to the touch, so you feel an instant chill the moment you lay down. Designed for 50% more breathability, the innovative fill helps you sleep cooler and more comfortably. They also have Tencel sheets that are naturally cooling, lightweight, and feel buttery soft on your skin. If it's not your coolest sleep ever, return it with no questions asked during their 100-night Sleep Better guarantee. And right now, you can get 20% off your first order. Visit coopsleepgoods.com/comedy to redeem your offer. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy.
So they end up getting back out, and this was so funny to me. As they're leaving, he's like giving Simon like the options. He's like, all right, option 1, you stay here and they take you anyway. Option 2, you go to the police and they don't believe you, and then the bad guys come and get you and they take you anyway. Or like option whatever, you come with me and I'll keep you safe and all of these things. And then
the other option is, we can...
Simon
sorry,
says,
go ahead.
Is there a third option? We could elope and run off to Canada together, he added casually with a shrug. I hear the summers there are nice. Hypothetically, I adjusted the fossil case against my chest. If I went with you, what would happen to me? To Canada? Baby, I'd treat you so nice, he said with a wink. Like, Dalton is from the beginning just such an insatiable flirt, and he 100% means it. He is into this dorky little paleontologist with every fiber of his dino-rific being.
Yeah, and he's like
Simon
mystified by it.
Simon thinks
He literally
he's joking.
says, of course. Because Simon is, I would guess, something like pansexual or whatever, but he's only ever had interest in men. He's never actually, like, gone for it. But the rest of his romantic life has been pretty lame as well, because he's either, like, off on a dig somewhere in a remote area of the world, or stuck in a basement of one museum or another, chipping away at fossils.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. He's this combination of really, really smart and worldly, but incredibly naive. That's sort of gorgeous, you know?
Yeah. Well, and he very much, not speaking from experience or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
totally.
he like he needs somebody who's not going to be with him in spite of his interests, but like wholeheartedly supportive of his interests, because his interests are such a huge part of his life. Like minimum a week, he's going to want to spend 20 solid hours talking about dinosaurs. And that is on the lower end, and that is only because you only talk to him on the phone a couple of times. Okay?
Sure.
That, you know what I mean? Like, he needs somebody who, it's not in spite, like somebody who loves him, not in spite of that thing, but it is a part of him that they wholeheartedly support and love. And
this can't be something that they tolerate.
Yes.
They need to embrace it completely.
Well, because if they tolerate it, then at its core, they're only tolerating him. At who he is at his basic.
Absolutely. At one point, Dalton asks him, like, randomly, do you like kids? And Simon's like, yeah, they're the only ones who want to talk about dinosaurs at parties. It's like, that's so sweet.
I can see Simon rolling up at a party and there's just a cat. And he's like, did you know that your claws are very reminiscent of like blah, blah, blah? Like he goes and finds the cat in the corner to like talk to them. This is the headcanon that I have.
Yeah, I like it. And if there's an 8-year-old, even better.
Yeah. Even better.
So they decide that he's going to come with him because it seems like the only viable option. And, Dalton describes himself as his knight in spiky armor, which I want that cross stitch somewhere.
Knight in same. He like, oh god, he's just so funny. So
they go to a hotel, and I think they end up just like crashing, except that Dalton does it totally cock out. He like sleeps naked, I think, right?
Yes, he does. He sleeps exclusively naked. So they end up essentially leaving, and he has plane ticket. They're somewhere in the Northeast. I don't remember where exactly.
Well, but first, really quickly, because I have never felt more seen, Simon has to figure out a way to tell the police something without totally giving up the fact that he's lying. And that is almost impossible for him. Because they want him to come down to the station. They say that he was the last one in the museum, and they like want to know what happened, if he saw anything, if he took the fossil, etc. And so he's like, what the fuck do I tell the police? And Dalton's like, I don't know, tell them you left around 9:15, you didn't see anything, and then you went home. And he's like, what? Why don't we just tell them the truth? We could just tell them the truth. And he's like, no, this guy has police on his payroll all over the place. You're going to get got, and the fossil's going to get got too. So he's like, okay, fine. So he's on the phone with this police officer who is very insistent he show up in person. And he keeps being like, well, I can't do that because, you see, I'm not really super in town. And the police officer's like, what?
That's
what does
super
that mean?
Suspicious, bro.
Yeah, but his phrasing is so funny. It's exactly something that I would say if I was trying to lie.
10,000%.
I'm not really in town. Like, what?
And before this phone call, Dalton was like, I don't know, tell him that you're going spontaneously to Dallas with your boyfriend. And he's like, I can't say that.
Is that a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't remember that. Oh, that's awesome.
Because he's like, I can't possibly say that. And then on the phone, he's like, I'm going out of town to Dallas with my boyfriend. And the police officer's like, can anybody corroborate that? And then he's like, I am not out. So
right. And then he thinks to himself, I'm a monster. I'm going to hell. That is not my struggle to appropriate. Like, this is terrible. I feel bad.
Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what, Simon?
Uh-huh. It kind of is.
If you make it a truth by the end of the trip,
Yeah.
I say you're fine.
Yeah. Because the police officer is like, okay, if you're going down to meet your boyfriend's family, we need to see you in 2 weeks. You need to be back here in 2 weeks to make a statement. And he's like, great, wonderful, would love to. So now they decide to drive all the way to Dallas.
Well, and it's because theropods, specifically various flavors of the tyrannosaurs, as you will learn the rest of this series, Melody, they don't handle airplanes well. They don't really handle heights well. I'm specifically thinking of a scene in book 5 with some projectile vomiting via a member of the Tyranna family.
No.
All over some people. As a tyrannosaur?
No.
So they just don't handle it real well. And oh my god, this is a running through line throughout the whole series. Montana to Dalton. And several of the other guys, not Baja, because Baja is very serious.
Yes.
And God.
Baja keeps his shit together.
What a god.
Yeah.
But like Dalton and like Regal, Feathers and Fuckery basically call him Daddy Montana. They call him Daddy Rex, Papa Rex. Like they're like, this is our father. Like
at one point he's like, oh, the big bad sharp tooth got played by like a nerd or whatever. But he calls him a sharp tooth. Oh,
yeah.
Oh
it's
my God,
very
it's
cute.
so cute.
He's like, I don't give a shit what Daddy Montana says. I don't care if there are plane tickets. We're fucking driving. So they hit the road, and at one point he looks at Simon and he's like, so like, you ever get out and do things? And Simon's like, well, yeah. Of course. And Dalton's like, you're a shitty liar, sweet cheeks. And and Simon's like, ugh. I mean, I swim and I teach and do things. And Dalton's like, I mean, go to a bar, a concert, or fuck somebody. Fun shit, not swimming and teaching. And then Simon says swimming and teaching is fun shit.
They are
Do I need to have a mohawk and be power eating jerky to be living my best life? And Dalton, the beautiful angel that he is, says, fuck yeah, you do. Life is short, Simon. Live loud, eat what you want, and get a fucking mohawk. And Simon's just like, we live very different existences. And we also have very different definitions of what fun means.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So as they're going, they end up at a mystery hole.
Yeah, so hey, Melody, I did Google it.
Okay.
This exists, and it's in West Virginia.
Okay.
And you know how, like, literally 30 minutes ago, before we started recording, we were talking about HBHQ fun road trip times in the Northeast at some point? We should go.
West Virginia's not in the Northeast.
It's closer to you than it is to me.
That is firmly mid-Atlantic at best, ma'am.
It's closer to you than it is to me.
No, it's in the exact opposite direction of a Northeast tour, Sabrina.
Okay, well, this is going to be a Northeast and upper mid-Atlantic tour.
No, that's bananas. No, that's like 6 hours in the wrong direction, you dingbat. No.
We could go on a road trip.
If we want to go, yeah, but if that's the case, then we would want to do, like, I don't know, like Salem in Massachusetts or whatever. That's a firmly Northeast situation.
Okay, fine. I will say, though, I know for a fact, because I've been there is a dinosaur park very similar to the ones described in this book, less than an hour and a half from me. So when you come visit me, we will be going there.
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
Hell yeah. I think there might be a dinosaur park close to me as well.
Why did it never occur to me? I did a Google. There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
In this country. Like, I don't know why it never occurred to me that it was so common, but there's some in Arkansas. There's so many of them. They're everywhere. Why, like, can that be my new... I want to go to all the dinosaur parks. They're all so kitschy and fun and dorky. Yeah. Anyway. So they're on the run, and they are meandering. They end up going to this hole this mystery hole, which obviously Dalton is incapable of not making a ton of cracks about.
Well, plus he can't drive past it because Simon is like, I thought we were on the run. And he's like, sure, but that doesn't mean we don't stop at kitschy tourist stuff. That's the best kind of tourist stuff.
Yeah, which I wholeheartedly agree with Dalton. 90% of what makes a road trip delightful is stopping someplace that you've seen on billboards and you're like, this is about to be a huge waste of $30. And guess what? It is, and it's not.
Yes, it's both at once.
Yes.
It's a waste of time and money, and yet it's absolutely not.
Absolutely worth it.
And he's like, that's what I'm going to start calling my... And Simon's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, wow, your mind is such in the gutter. Jeez. It's super cute. So then they go in, and and then Dalton says, and if you're good, I'll get you a keychain. So they go in, and when they come out, Simon is like, that was so dumb. It was all, like, optical illusions. It's just, like, basic physics and bad decorations. And Dalton's like, I know, right?
This was the point where I Googled to see if it was a real thing, and I was like, I want to go there so badly.
Incredible.
I love a place that's just bad optical illusions and strictly physics. Like, I am, like, you know, some people who have taken a lot of physics in their life, right? They're like, man, I can't handle shit like that. This isn't magic or whatever. It's physics. Guess what, bitch? Physics is magic, okay?
It is.
If you, like...
It's magic that can be explained.
Exactly.
That's all. Also, there's a dinosaur park less than 40 minutes away from me.
Oh, sexy. Oh my
so,
god.
Yeah,
Melody,
I know.
We're going to...
And
that's
it's
what,
not in
can
the
that just
complete wrong direction.
Can that just be what we do whenever we meet up from now on? Can we go to
find a dinosaur park?
Find the closest dinosaur park and we'll go there. This is going to be our new thing. Oh my god, listeners, if y'all have ever gone to a dinosaur park, please send us emails, send us pictures, post on social media, tag us. I want to see pictures of your dinosaur park experiences.
Yes,
that would, like, seriously make my life. I want to know where. Okay. Oh my god. Can I make, like, a Google map thing where you can, like, drop your fucking pin
dinosaur park
to where you've gone to dinosaur park? Like, oh man, hey, can you tell that my medication is back on? I'm like, wow, this is a thing I could actually do. We'll see. I may do something like that because I think it would be fun. The Heaving Bosoms map of dinosaur parks in the United States, or are dinosaur parks things elsewhere? I feel like they'd be everywhere. Dinosaurs are everywhere, you know?
Dinosaurs are all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, but
notoriously.
Are other places going to have...
I don't know.
Kitschy things like really bad dinosaur parks?
Hey, Belgium, do you have a dinosaur park? Anybody in Chile?
Do we have Belgian listeners?
Of course we do. Anybody in Chile?
Do we have Chile
do you want to tell us about your dinosaur parks?
Hey, now I'm really curious. If you're Belgian or Chilean, feel free to reach out. What specific countries?
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If you're sleeping hot and sweaty, it's impossible to get a good night's sleep. And if your solutions are blasting the AC high all summer and doing constant pillow flips, you've got to check out Coop Sleep Goods. Coop combines advanced cooling technology and personalized comfort to create pillows that help hot sleepers stay sweat-free all summer. The fabrics are breathable and cool to the touch, so you feel an instant chill the moment you lay down. Designed for 50% more breathability, the innovative fill helps you sleep cooler and more comfortably. They also have Tencel sheets that are naturally cooling, lightweight, and feel buttery soft on your skin. If it's not your coolest sleep ever, return it with no questions asked using their 100-night sleep better guarantee. And right now, you can get 20% off your first order. Visit CoopSleepGoods.com/comedy to redeem your offer. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy. Confronting high credit card debt can feel scary. But the good news is, if you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, financial relief options are now available. National Debt Relief is currently offering debt relief designed to reduce what you owe, fast-tracking your way to being debt-free. If you qualify for debt relief, you may be able to pay back significantly less than what you owe and save thousands of dollars. Imagine only paying one low monthly program payment you can afford and saving money as you become debt-free. National Debt Relief has already helped bring debt relief to over 550,000 U.S. consumers, earning thousands of five-star reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. You're stronger than your credit card debt. Take the first step and visit nationaldebtrelief.com to see what debt relief you qualify for. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
Anyway, so they end up leaving the mystery hole, and they're like, okay, we should probably pull over for the night, and this is a really pretty area, we can go camping. And Simon's like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. And then Dalton, the absolute
maniac,
lunatic, just whips the wheel over and starts off-roading in this vehicle that is stolen, by the way. Like, you don't know if it's going to be able to handle that, but Dalton doesn't give a fuck.
No.
And Simon is like...
freaking out.
Oh my god, I'm going to die.
He's like, what are you doing?
This man is going to kill me.
And Dalton's like, I'm finding a campsite, obviously. And he's like, there's a road for that. And Dalton goes, you can't camp by the road, newbie. That's preposterous.
Well, and Simon's like, but there are literal, campsites not that far. We're practically in a national forest, dude. And Dalton's like, he's like, so stop. And Dalton does stop, and then he looks around, and he's like, oh yeah, this is a great spot. Good call, Simon.
Wow, great job. Good eye.
Oh my god. Then this motherfucker, in his spiky punk-ass vest, rolls up out of the vehicle. Simon gets out and he's like, okay, I guess this is my life now. And then they're like, okay, Dalton's like, okay, I'm gonna go get dinner. And Simon's like, do you know how to go get dinner?
Right. And you look like a city slicker is what you look like.
yeah, I got it. And so Dalton does.
Well, and no, but then Simon's like, you're not gonna shoot a rabbit or whatever, right? Because I don't think that's a good idea. And Dalton's like, what? No, there will be nothing left of the rabbit if I shoot it with a Glock. I'll just use a snare or something.
Yeah. So he fucks off into the forest, immediately strips down and hides his clothes under a log, and raptors out.
He shifts.
He
Hot.
does.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
He's a Utah raptor.
Yeah, he's a Utah raptor.
Which made me really sad, because I haven't read the Dino Shifter book yet where he comes back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, he's dead for
Everything's
us right
fine.
now. Yeah. Well, so I'm sorry, listener. I actually started at the wrong part in the book. That was technically the second chapter, because we start with watching Dalton hunt a cow. And
my God.
And then he gets the call from Montana sending him on his mission. And so now he's sniffing the air and he's doing trying to figure out, and he's listening, there's a bunch of mammals on the surface and under the ground. But I need a biggin for me. And he thinks to himself, oh my God, there's a bear. That would be such a challenge.
Bear. What a challenge. A real challenge. Something worth a good fight. But no. I wasn't looking for a fight. I was looking for food. Deer? Yes. Deer for me. Then rabbits for human. Simon. Pretty Simon. Maybe he'd like my rabbits. I needed to get good fat rabbits for pretty Simon. But first, deer.
Yes. Show Simon can provide.
He's like, I'm going to get him the goodest, fattest, prettiest rabbits.
Yeah.
He calls him Pretty Simon throughout the book, and it just,
but only in his raptor form, until he tells Simon that that's what he calls him in his raptor form. It is so cute.
Well, and then when he gets his deer and he's catching rabbits, one particular rabbit slipped free from my jaws just when I thought I had him and caused me to run my head into a low-hanging tree limb to chase him. I was very upset and tried to dig up the burrow he escaped into, only to stick my nose into an anthill. I've never hated another living creature more than that rabbit.
Fair.
Hilarious.
Fucking fair.
Yeah, listener, the voice in this for all just go read
It's so
the book.
good.
Just go
It's
read
so
the
good.
book.
So then, as he finally has 2 rabbits in his jaws, and he's like pretty mad about how tough it was to catch these little tiny fuckers. He's like, why should a snack-sized mammal be so hard to catch? It's embarrassing. But then he's on his way back, still in raptor form, and then he hears like a really sharp noise. But it almost sounds like irritated. And then he's like, oh, I think maybe a human lost something. Oh, is that Simon? And then it starts sounding really scared. And he's like, Simon is scared. Simon is in peril. And he's calling for me.
So what happened from Simon's point of view is he went and he caught some fish because he has like some basic outdoors experience. He, as a paleontologist, he can handle himself in the wilderness for a hot second. Mm-hmm. And then he like started the fire and he's like, damn, it's been a long time since Dalton disappeared. He walks into the forest, and the first thing he finds is an obliterated deer carcass. And he's like,
God.
oh my God, Dalton? And he's like, oh my God, where's Dalton? He's calling for Dalton. And then he starts freaking out because now it's dark. His flashlight can barely see anything. Dalton's not showing up or responding at all. And as a
Which
human...
means that a predator probably got him, the same predator.
Dalton comes running out of the forest, butt-ass naked, covered in blood, holding 2 rabbits. And Simon's like, what the fuck? Why
Simon
are you
says,
naked?
Are you hurt? No, he's like, where are you hurt? And he's like holding on to him. He's grabbing his shoulders and he's like, where are you hurt? And Dalton's like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Well, and he's
where
like,
are you
why
hurt?
are you naked? Like, why are you naked and why are you covered in blood? And Dalton's like, don't judge the process, bro. I got dinner.
Hunting is complicated,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to fuck up my clothes by getting blood all over them, so I took them off.
and like, mind you, Simon went through the car and knows for a fact that Dalton does not have his gun. So he just is like, oh my God, this man is naked and I am afraid. Like,
at a certain point, like, he just decides to let it go. Like, there's been so much that has happened to Simon recently.
Honestly.
That he's just like, I don't care.
The point, Simon is a stronger, I'm not sure if it means he's stronger or weaker than I am.
Yeah,
but he's
totally.
definitely different from me because my the point where I would reach everything is too weird and overwhelming and I no longer have any questions.
Is it right about here?
So much earlier. So much earlier. Like, it probably...
That's so funny.
Yeah, I did...
Yeah, and so as they're sitting by the fire, he notices that Dalton keeps on sitting, like, as close to him as possible, even though there's a whole wide forest. And he's like, I don't understand why this guy is, like, trying to get on my nerves. Not knowing that he's not. He's just like really
he's not trying to get
puppy.
on your nerves. He's trying to get
dick.
under your skin. Yeah. This man wants to live inside of you in the porniest,
least creepy way
possible. Because like ultimately he's feeling heart feelings, but he doesn't understand what the heart feelings are. He's like, nah, I just like man, that dick though.
He's like, I just haven't had sex in too long. It's been too long since I fucked something.
Mm-hmm.
So then they end up at a motel after this, right? No. Then it's the dinosaur park.
No, then it's Safe House. So they get a call from Royal. He's basically their eyes in the sky tech dude. And he is like, hey, Safe House is set up. You need to go lay low for a hot minute. There's some guy named Hyena who works for the drug lord or whatever is looking for you, specifically a guy with a pink mohawk and Simon. So
Simon looks at Dalton and says, I mean, you could just like shave it off. It would always grow back and you can redo it. And Dalton's like, my mohawk is sacrosanct.
He's like, do you know, this is not an out of the box color. Do you know how long it took to get this color?
The right formula.
I felt rather seen I don't
Yeah,
dye
you
my
understood.
own hair. I don't choose my own color. Like, I'm not the one who puts the colors together, but my hairstylist, like, it's a mood. That's a whole
Yeah,
mood.
absolutely.
So, hilariously, though, when Royal's on the phone, he's, like, talking to Dalton.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, did you run into the paleontologist? Kind of cute, gray hair, puppy eyes with a left dimple. Left dimple? I looked over at Simon, who was currently chewing a donut. Do you have a dimple? What? Simon asked with a cheek full of pastry. Royal started laughing. Oh shit, Dalton! You took the cute fossil guy with you? Like, Royal's like, oh my god. And, listener, this is the first time that one of their team took the person with them. It is not the last time someone on the team takes somebody with them.
Well, and so Royal is trying to, like, stay on business. Meanwhile, every time Dalton speaks, it's just to be like, show me your dimple. How dare you hide your dimple?
Oh my god, it's so cute. So they end up getting to the safe house just to stay safe for a hot minute.
It's like a cabin in the woods.
It is. More importantly, it is
a
one-bedroom cabin with a
That's
very tiny couch. And so they end up, oh my god, Dalton is so cute. So he wears like nothing but punny dinosaur shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like covered in tattoos. And Simon has seen a little bit of the tattoos, but now Dalton is showing some of his other tattoos. And he shows him like Littlefoot's tree star is on his arm. And then he shows a whole scene of all the dinos from Land Before Time chasing a tree star around his calf. And he
says, I'm not much of a salad guy, but when I saw this movie, I wanted a tree star so bad.
Which, like, same. I also wanted a tree star, and I'm not even from the
Cretaceous period.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I knew it started with a C. I wanted to say Neolithic, but that's
also
wrong.
one, but that's wrong.
I mean, I know it is one.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
Cretaceous.
Anyway. So Dalton's like, yeah, one bed, not that big of a deal. And Simon's like, this is a huge deal, mostly because I have a huge boner for you. And that's really uncomfortable because you're not interested in me. And so clearly this is flirting as all just jokey jokes.
But what if he takes it too far? You know, the jokey jokes?
Yeah, and like I kind of am getting a crush on this hot mess of a pink-haired human.
Uh-huh.
And like, ugh.
And he thinks to himself, like, I guess it's not really that I'm worried he'll take it too far because they just sat on the couch for like a movie marathon together.
All of the John Wicks.
Yeah, Dalton never did anything untoward, you know? But he's like, there's just something I'll take the couch. And Dalton's like, do you recall being on that couch just now? Because it's microscopic. And he's like, fine, it's fine. I'll just be sleeping bag on the floor. And Dalton's like, I give you an hour, and then you're going to figure out the sleeping bag sucks, and the ground is really, really cold. Then we'll see what happens. And Simon's like, I'm going to be fine. And then he lays over there miserable. But on principle, he does it for exactly an hour and a half. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. And then hilariously, he like stands up to go to the bathroom, quote unquote. And he like walks past the bedroom and like peers in and there's space. And he's like, And so then he walks into the bathroom and goes potty. And then as he comes out of the bathroom, he stops and peers in the door again to look at the space. And he's like, And so he goes to get a cup of water. And then he walks back again to look in the bedroom. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So he ends up going, and then he's like, and clearly Dalton's sleeping. And so, because like he's still for the first time in his entire life. And then he lays down on the bed.
As slowly and carefully as possible.
And Dalton pipes up over his shoulder and just says, good night, Simon.
No, he says, good night, sugar bear.
Oh,
very importantly to me.
I'm so sorry. So he wakes up the next morning and Dalton is gone with the car. And he's like, oh my God, did he leave me here? And then, but then he realizes the fossil is still there, and he's like, he
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't have done that, but like he starts doing a full catastrophizer spiral. He's like, but maybe he like decided it wasn't worth the blah blah blah, and like, oh my god, what if they're after me now, and like he just left to save his ass, and then somebody opens the fucking door, and it is not Dalton, and somebody walks in, holds a gun on him, and is like, who the fuck are you?
Get on your knees.
Where's the fossil?
Yeah.
And then Simon hears the car pull up, and he doesn't want anything to happen to Dalton. So even though he has a gun to his head, he yells out, Dalton, run! And Baja is the one who just walked in. We don't know this yet, but Baja's like, Dalton? And then Dalton walks in with like donuts or something. And he's like, oh,
no, I thought he was going for donuts, but it's better. It's way
oh my
better.
god, you're so right.
Yeah.
So he walks back in and he's like, oh, hey, sup, Baja?
Oh, hey, Baja.
You're freaking out the dude with the with the gun in your hand.
Yeah. Can you stop that, please?
Uh-huh.
And Baja's like, what is happening? And Dalton's like, yeah, we'll talk about it later. No big deal. And then Simon gets up and he's like, he held a gun to my head. Like, this is not normal life at all. Where were you? You left me alone. He's like berating him. And then Dalton goes over and gets the bag. Yeah.
Baja is the second book.
Oh, please and thank you.
You are going to be feral.
Am I going to lose my mind?
You're going to be such a feral little gremlin.
I'm so excited.
For his book.
I'm so excited.
It's fake dating. It is only one bed. It is a heist.
Yes.
It is a grumpy sunshine.
Ooh.
And it is two extremely predatory alpha male dinosaurs going head to head.
What?
It is enemies to lovers.
What?
I'm
excited. Okay. Wow.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
If you're sleeping hot and sweaty, it's impossible to get a good night's rest. And if your solutions are blasting the AC high all summer and doing constant pillow flips, you've got to check out Coop Sleep Goods. Coop combines advanced cooling technology and personalized comfort to create pillows that help hot sleepers stay sweat-free all summer. The fabrics are breathable and cool to the touch, so you feel an instant chill the moment you lay down. Designed for 50% more breathability, the innovative fill helps you sleep cooler and more comfortably. They also have Tencel sheets that are naturally cooling, lightweight, and feel buttery soft on your skin. If it's not your coolest sleep ever, return it with no questions asked during their 100-night Sleep Better Guarantee. And right now, you can get 20% off your first order. Visit CoopSleepGoods.com/comedy to redeem your offer. That's COOP, sleepgoods.com/comedy. Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Maybe you're even barely getting by making minimum payments. With credit card debt hitting record highs, National Debt Relief offers real debt relief solutions for people struggling to keep up. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy, and you may be able to pay back less than you owe, regardless of your credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe 10, 20, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living increases. To find out how much you could save, visit nationaldebtrelief.com. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
So then Dalton goes over to the bag that he brought in, And he opens it up, and there's like an X-Acto knife. There's a really specialized Dremel thing. There's, some brushes. There's a bunch of stuff. And he's like, I figured if we're going to be holed up here, you might want to keep on working on the fossil. And then Simon is so elated, like the biggest grin goes over his face. And Dalton's like, oh, there's that dimple. It's so good. Oh my God. And then Simon says, I hope you're ready for this to be the only thing I do for the rest of the time. And Dalton's like, yeah, I pretty much figured that's what would happen. That's fine.
They end up there for a couple of days, and eventually Royal calls back, and he's like, all right, you're good to go.
No, wait, no. We're not ready to leave yet because I have a couple of quotes.
Oh, okay.
Because as this is happening, Dalton is getting more and more, itchy to get under Simon's skin. But Simon is so focused that there's a lot of times where he'll, wake up and start on the fossil, and then he'll look up and it's 12:30 in the morning. And, been there,
Yeah, God, that ain't a fucking mood.
Yeah. So the next chapter starts with Dalton saying, holy shit, I was defenseless against that fucking dimple. He says, I was so worried I was just going to roll him onto his back and demand he fuck me right then and there that I had to physically pry myself away from him. That boy was smooth. I melted like candy in his hand. And then he talks about what they're doing, what he's doing while he's working on the egg. He's watching movies and stuff. And then Dalton says the only downside was that the sneaky bastard would stay up so late working on the egg that I'd be sound asleep once he finally slipped into bed. And he's like, I never got a chance to properly seduce him or playfully molest him while he was all frisky from excavating. And then finally, he's in his human form, he's always done very casual one-night stands. He's talking about how this is the first time he's ever woken up to someone, especially waking up to someone that he didn't rail into the bed the night before. And so he goes, this was different. This was snuggly, comfortable. And one particular morning, Simon had mistaken me for a body pillow and snuggled right up against me in his sleep. I had never been the small spoon. It was almost as addicting as my dimple kink.
Dalton's realization of his love of being the small spoon,
that he is made to be the small spoon,
is so fucking cute. Because so cute. He's also a little bit taller than Simon by an inch. He's already taller by an inch or two with the mohawk. He's even taller, but
yeah. Oh, it's so good.
He's I love it, and it's real cute.
I don't know how I lived before this. Okay, so then he's talking to Simon about the fossil, and he asks him, how can you tell the difference between the rock and the shell part of the egg? And he says, years of experience. And he goes, and there's an old paleontologist trick to telling the difference between fossil and rock. I hummed that I was listening, so he continued. We lick it. Hot, I said immediately. Seriously, he said around a chuckle. Fossilized bone has a stickiness to it that rocks don't. Oh, Simon, I warned, squeezing his chest with my arms. You opened up so many jokes about licking rock-hard things. And then Simon says, I forgot who I was talking to, he said dryly, finally trying to pry me off of him. You want to test my fossil? Dalton says.
He's just so cute.
They're both so cute. Yeah. And so now, sorry, please carry on. It's time to go. I just had to say a few of those things.
Oh, no, absolutely. So they end up leaving. It's they're safe to go. And on their way, they come across Dinosaur Land or Dinosaur World or Dinosaur Park or something like that.
This is one of my favorite parts because he's like Simon, the sucker, was over there reading some sort of scientific paper on his phone, so he didn't see any of the billboards proclaiming Dinosaur Park was ready for our arrival.
Ready for us.
And so he's like, he didn't even look up until we put the car into park. And then he's like, oh, no.
He's like, you realize that being in there, I'm just going to sit here and tell you all about everything that they got wrong.
I'm going to be so mad. Yeah.
Like, and Dalton's like, I can't wait to hear it.
And truly, he cannot wait.
Yes. And then they get into the thing and it's closed for renovations. And Dalton is so distraught that Simon, because the minute this leaves his mouth, Simon's like, what the fuck have I done? He looks at him and he says, we could break in.
Let's just sneak in.
And Dalton's like, are you serious right now?
Immediately, he's elated.
And he's like, yeah.
I guess so. Because at one point he's like, oh man, can I just really clearly, can I just do the Dalton speech about this park? Because it's really so cute.
Hey, Melody,
Okay.
I'm never going to stop you.
So they're talking about it and he's like, no, these places are like one of a kind. And he's like, Dalton, it's a cheesy dinosaur park. Like, I think there's one in Florida too. And he goes, but we're not in Florida. I stuffed my hands in my jacket and shook my head. I don't know when I'll be in Kentucky again. And this isn't something you plan a trip around. This is something you do while exploring the countryside. These little dives and tourist traps are treasures. They're relics of adventure and the open road. And then Simon, like, shifts his expression from, like, being amused to, like, something else. And he goes, this means a lot to you. And then Dalton goes, yeah, it did, I admitted. This was the one I really wanted to see. And he's so mad. And that's when he's like, let's sneak in.
Mm-hmm. So they get in, and while they're meandering, he's obviously critiquing everything, and then they find the velociraptor in the park, and he's like, well, really this looks more like a Utahraptor than a velociraptor, just based on blah, 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 and blah. And then he ends up going on a, like, special interest info dump.
Yeah.
And Dalton is pushing it. He's like, tell me more about everything you know about rat. And, like, the way that Simon talks about dinosaurs and, like, specifically in this instance talks about the Utahraptor, the raptor that they're looking at, some flavor of velociraptor. Like, this is no doubt the moment that Dalton falls in love.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because, like,
absolutely.
It's so clear how in love with dinosaurs Simon is. And because he talks about dinosaurs the way other people talk about, like, the love of their life.
Yeah.
And Dalton is so enamored and just keeps pushing. He's like, tell me more.
Yeah. And so he's like, he says stuff like, this is wrong because of X, Y, and Z, including that they probably had pre-flight feathers. And so Dalton's like, okay, tell me about the feathers. No, please. And so he's like, yeah, most of the paleo art I've seen puts them in, like, modern bird coloring. So, like, a lot of browns and grays and blacks. And, like, one even white, like a swan, which I don't know is super realistic. And he's like, while I appreciate the realism of the art, it would be kind of awesome to see them painted as these colorful, murderous birds of paradise. And he's like, maybe they were. Maybe they were death peacocks. And he's like, death peacocks, I like that. So then he starts talking about, like, all the colors, you know? He's like, think about it. If these raptors were king in their territories, they wouldn't need to be hiding. Maybe the males had flashes of colors to impress the ladies with. Vibrant blues and rich greens. Pretty pinks, Dalton added with a wink, running the top of his finger over his ridged mohawk. Sure, I said around a laugh.
Honestly,
why not?
Simon, the fact that you did not clue in, I understand. Because as far as you are aware, shifters do not exist. But, like, Dalton, you talk a big game. Your whole crew talks a big game about how nobody can know we're dinosaurs, and you all drop hints constantly.
Totally. Oh my God. So Ember looked at me the other day because we had recently watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and he was like, Mom, think about it.
I watched that this weekend.
Tell me everything.
It was beautiful. I understand exactly what you meant about bopping to the music.
Yes.
Also, that entire soundtrack was everything to me. Also, I very much had a Beauty and the Beast moment where we met our love interest.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so hot as a demon. And then he was human. And I was like, this is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You know. Well, so Ember looks at me and he's like, because sometimes he'll do this and it's very relatable. Like he'll start talking to me as if we're in the middle of a conversation, you know, very ADHD.
Can't relate.
What?
I've never done that with you specifically.
And so he's like, Mom, think about it. I cannot believe that all of those people in K-pop demon hunters didn't realize that they were demon hunters. I mean, their songs literally say it out loud. I was like, are you sure? Like, think about being one of those humans. You really think your first thought would be, obviously, because they're saying it in a song, they're definitely supernatural demon hunters, and also demons exist? Like, that's gonna be your first go-to? And Ember was like, oh, okay, maybe not. But he's like, the way that he was just like, oh, I cannot believe how dumb they were. Like, there are so many hints about this thing that's happening.
Okay, I'm Ember in this. You're right. You're fucking right. Okay, fine.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
So, this was so beautiful, though. Dalton hummed again and rested his chin on my shoulder. You feel like you have a connection to dinosaurs? They were around when our ancestors were just tiny little weasels hiding in holes. Now their legacy lives on in the birds we see today, and we write poetry about them, imitate their songs, and craft works of art around their beauty. I think we've always been connected to them. And then we immediately flash into Dalton's point of view. Holy shit, was I defenseless against that fucking dimple? I felt like I was a moth slamming my face into a light bulb when I looked at it. The picture didn't give the alluring dip justice. Simon could have asked for all of his enemies' skulls in a flower arrangement, and I would have delivered it if it meant seeing that dimple again. And the statement about our ancestors being works of art, arrow through the fucking heart.
Oh my God.
And I just love how unabashedly into Simon Dalton is.
Yeah.
Like, it brings me a lot of joy in this cold, dark world.
Absolutely. So now Simon looks at Dalton and he says, I really don't get your sense of humor, Dalton. I glanced over to see him giving me a quizzical look. All the fake flirting and date jokes and the constant hanging on me. Dalton stopped in his tracks, his quizzical look now one of total befuddlement. What the hell makes you think I was joking? Who's out there? A male voice shouted from down the path.
No, you have terrible timing, security guard.
Super mad about it. Yeah.
So they end up hiding behind one of the big ol' honker dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And while they're there, Dalton's like, what if I just, stood up?
No,
or
no. Importantly, Dalton says, say this is the best date ever. Because right before he said, I don't understand your sense of humor, they had been saying, he said, the last date I was on, X, Y, and Z didn't happen. And then Dalton's like, the last date you were on? So that implies that this is also a date. So now they're hiding, and he's like, say this is the best date ever. And he's like, shh, stop it, I'm not doing that. And he's like, best date ever. And he's like, no. He says, say it, or I'm going to yell. I'm going to show him exactly where we are. And then he goes, Dalton, I swear to God. And then he's getting up, about to stand up and yell. And so he grabbed his shirt and tugged him back down. Stop it. You know this is fun, Dalton insisted. When was the last time you laughed on a date? And then after, the guy yells again. And after they do that, he goes to stand up again. And it says, come on, admit it, Dalton shook his head slowly, that mischief twinkle coming back to his icy eyes. Just as he adjusted to make another attempt at standing, I pulled him forward and kissed him.
Oh my God.
And it's just like a small, peck, you know?
but it means everything. And when Dalton pulls away, he's like grinning, and then he puts his finger up to his mouth like, our little secret. Like, I won't do the thing.
That was fine. That worked instead of saying this is the best date ever. You did it.
So they end up getting out of the park and escaping and getting away from the security guard, and they end up finding a hotel room, and they now know that they're officially on the run again, because we skipped over this because it was whatever, but when they stopped at a gas station, somebody recognized him as the paleontologist from National Geographic, which, like,
she had been reading that copy of Nat Geo.
Fascinating to me.
But
fucking Tom Cruise could walk into my job and I would not realize it was Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
out of context, I would never realize it, you know?
But
and
also
so,
at like an isolated gas station, I can see it could be 3 hours before I see the next person. I'm definitely going to have reading material up at the cash register.
I will too. I will
Yeah.
too. But like, recognizing the paleontologist, like, I would have to be looking at the picture in the magazine and look up.
That's the point.
Oh, I missed that. I was laughing.
Yeah, she holds it up and points at his face and says, like, this is you, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
So she has National Geographic there as her reading material.
That would be surreal as fuck. You're right. Okay. So the lady recognizes them, and now the bad guys know where they are.
Yeah, like the vicinity, and like sort of they know their trajectory too, because they know that the Relic Base, which is an acronym, everyone, it's the team that Dalton's on, but the Relic Base is in Dallas. And so they know like roughly where they are and roughly where they're going.
Yes.
That's where we're going to stop for today. We'll be back tomorrow for the second half of this dinosaur shifter road trip romance. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomespodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you tomorrow.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
If you're sleeping hot and sweaty, it's impossible to get a good night's sleep. And if your solutions are blasting the AC high all summer and doing constant pillow flips, you've got to check out Coop Sleep Goods. Coop combines advanced cooling technology and personalized comfort to create pillows that help hot sleepers stay sweat-free all summer. The fabrics are breathable and cool to the touch, so you feel an instant chill the moment you lay down. Designed for 50% more breathability, the innovative fill helps you sleep cooler and more comfortably. They also have Tencel sheets that are naturally cooling, lightweight, and feel buttery soft on your skin. If it's not your coolest sleep ever, return it with no questions asked using their 100-night sleep better guarantee. And right now, you can get 20% off your first order. Visit coopsleepgoods.com/comedy to redeem your offer. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy. Confronting high credit card debt can feel scary. But the good news is, if you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, financial relief options are now available. National Debt Relief is currently offering debt relief designed to reduce what you owe, fast-tracking your way to being debt-free. If you qualify for debt relief, you may be able to pay back significantly less than what you owe and save thousands of dollars. Imagine only paying one low monthly program payment you can afford and saving money as you become debt-free. National Debt Relief has already helped bring debt relief to over 550,000 U.S. consumers, earning thousands of five-star reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. You're stronger than your credit card debt. Take the first step and visit nationaldebtrelief.com to see what debt relief you qualify for. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.